they need. She gives them all the rope that they need to end up choking themselves before they go right. And when they don't, she locks them up because she follows the law. But she would prefer not to lock you up. Okay, that's how well she treats all the veterans. And again, I'm asking you, because I'll need your help, your help. Believe it or not, we have women veterans in the drug treatment program. Okay, they need help just as well. As a matter of fact, I just met one at the last session where the judge gave her a real good chance, and she went outside and bawled her eyes out. And what she was not ready to accept was to talk to a man. So there was a woman there, a social worker, that was talking to her. She told me, she said, Lonnie, I'll take care of her, and I'll make sure that she gets to you. She needs a mentor really bad. Okay, guys do too now. I'm telling you, they try to get over. There was another Air Force veteran that I met in the courtroom, and he was a Vietnam era veteran. He didn't know that there were benefits out here for him today. He got in the treatment court because of doing marijuana, where it was he was doing, and he stayed clean for a year. I mean, a little over a year. And he just went back to court here 2 sessions ago and was locked up because out there something got to him, and he decided that a joint was going to help. And when he went to court, he got tested, because she'll test you right there. She'll ask you, can you pass the test today? And if you say yes, she'll say, okay, let's find out. And she'll test you. If you come back, if your urine comes back dirty, she'll send you to jail for a week, just so you can clean out. Okay, whatever it is. They've got guys in there from marijuana to crack cocaine to methamphetamine. They're in there for all kinds of reasons, and they've come right out of the desert because of the tragedies that they've seen over there. All right, and it's post-traumatic stress, and they don't know how to handle it. When they get into these treatment programs, it helps. And what helps even more is when they have a mentor. Someone's going to make sure that they don't relapse. And that's what happens. If there's nobody for them to talk to, they'll relapse. Has anybody here been in the desert? Okay. When you come, well, I'll tell you a story. When the Vietnam vets came back, nobody liked them. You know, baby killers and all those other kind of names that they were given. Okay. And yet they were over there trying to survive and help a country that could not survive on their own. And now our warriors are going out to the desert, and when they come back, they're being hailed as heroes, rightly so. But the thing is, they've seen some tragedies that they can't talk about to their mothers, their fathers, brothers and sisters, because no one can understand that. But to another veteran, they'll talk to, whether he's been or she's been in the desert or not. They're veterans, and they will talk to them. That's, again, another reason why I'm here. I need your help to help service a veteran that's in trouble in this treatment court. It's at Pinellas County Justice System on 49th Street. If you ever get a chance, you get with Master Sergeant White, and I'll let him know when the next treatment court date is. Well, for this month, the next one's the 17th, and I know of, and probably the 24th. If you ever want to go down there and take a look at what goes on, you're going to be amazed. Yes, sir.
Do they house the veterans in a different facility?
No, a lot of them are not homeless. They're not homeless at all.
Let me rephrase the question. When they go to jail, are they
No,
just being processed like normal?
they're in the general public.
Okay.
But right now, they are trying to get a veterans pod. Okay, that way they'll be in their own area. It's being talked about, and they're thinking about it, and more than likely it's going to happen probably in the next fiscal year. It's probably going to happen to when veterans are picked up and they're going to jail. They'll be in their own area.
I'd like
Yes,
to,
sir.
well, I was going to give it a testimonial too. I want to add on to that. One thing that is different, that is really special, and I want to add as a testimonial to really check this out, is the actual courtroom process. That's what's different. At the courthouse in Pinellas County, and what he's saying about going to just see it, you can, whenever there's a trial going on, you are, as a citizen, able to just walk in. There's a bench of wooden seats. Just kind of in the back and just sit and watch this. I've been in civilian courts where it's very cold and sterile, and the judge is way up here looking down. It's very intimidating. You go into the courtroom dedicated for veterans. It's decorated with a lot of their artworks and flags and posters. And the judge is not usually, I have never seen her up in her podium. She's always down on the floor with the veterans, very serious, very poignant, but also very empathetic. And it's a completely different experience, so that the docket, the people going through trial that day are there, and sometimes they know each other, and the mentors are in the room as well. And there's actually something you'll never see in another courtroom, is if there's a success story after going through a court process, and it's a veteran who's returned several different times in front of her and is doing well, you can see her body language and demeanor change, and go and shake his hand and hug him, and then the audience, even back there, will start to applaud it. It's a kind of a support thing that gives me chills on my back to see it and witness it. That's unlike any other type of courtroom, and that's really remarkable to see. But I've witnessed both ends of it, and I just want to add that it really is special. And then there's the mentorship, that if you go there and you become a mentor to someone of these vets that are going through this, you're in that seating place side by side. And so when they are done with their sentencing, or hopefully not sentencing because they're on the up and up, you're there to catch them either way, him or her.
I had asked that question because I actually worked at the jail as a deputy sheriff for 3 years.
Okay.
In corrections, and one of the major places for, well, I'll utilize this saying something similar, was Central. In Central they had a housing, they had a, it was an in and out program where people, such as like the gentleman on TV, where they would have difficulties, and then they would go through a program, work with a lot of individuals like yourself, and then get out on a short, on an ROR type deal. And then they would be free to go, and then they would just do their civil service or whatever it is that they needed to do.
What they do in the courtroom is, because they're in some sort or type of treatment, they'll send them to aftercare. After there's a residential program, depending upon the severity of your charge, we'll call it. Because there's veterans that are in there for, say, petty theft. Okay, petty theft is under $250 or whatever it is. But when they're taken to jail, they discover there's drugs on them, so now the charges change. Okay, but they are given out when they're found out that they are veterans, they are given the options of going through the regular judicial docket or the veteran docket.
That's fantastic.
I've never heard anything like this. When it was presented to me over 18 months ago, I was told that once you go and go to the veteran treatment court. I said, the veteran court? And she said, yeah. I said, there's no such thing as a veteran court. She said, yes, there is. And I went back and forth, no, there isn't. Yes, there is. I said, look, I was in the Marine Corps for 16 years. There is no veteran court. She said, yes, there is. Okay. So I went down, I checked it out, and I haven't missed a session yet in 18 months. So it just goes to show you how much it just took me over, period. And I always knew my weakness was for veterans anyway. I work right up the street here full time at Bayfront Medical. And anytime a veteran comes in there, they're in there because the doctors there will give them the drugs that they want, where the VA will not. Okay? And anytime I see them, I give them meals, or I let them stick around for a while if it's too cold. I'll take care of a veteran in a minute. So here I am again at USF asking your help to mentor a veteran. I have some cards here. Also, I never go around without applications. So as a matter of fact, along with the success story with Master Sergeant White, he came down to the treatment court, and he sat there and he watched and he watched and he watched. And when he got ready to leave, he called me outside and he said, "You need mentors, don't you?" I said, "Yes, I do." He just signed me up. That's how much of an impact it had on him. Okay, and it would carry the same thing with you, ladies and gentlemen, right here. If you ever saw that, you would think, "How does that happen?" Okay, the judge do things like if you have a fine, you can work off the fine, plus she'll reduce your fine, and if you've really done well with your after treatment, she'll cut your probation in half, and then she'll, once it's all over with, she'll say, "You know what? You're done. You are no longer on probation. Take care of yourself, and hopefully I don't have to see you again." And a lot of times they do, because they relapse. Something happens out there, and it makes them go right back off the line into that drug or alcohol or whatever it was. That's their choice. They go back to it because they don't have any help. They don't have anybody to call and say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. Can I talk to you for a little while?" All we're asking for is an hour. 0.25 a day for 4 days. That's not a lot of time. I know you got school, you got studies, you got your own lives that you have to do. Some of you have families. 15 minutes on the phone to say, hey John, how you feeling today? Okay, you need any help with anything? Yeah, I'm doing good. Okay, make sure you get in contact with me next week. Okay, and for the most part, what they like for you to do is to navigate the VA form. You know, and I help you take care of that. I make you up a binder that has all the resources in it that you need to talk to the veteran. Anything you need, if it's a question that you can't answer, I'm gonna leave my cards here. You give me a call, and I'll help you with that. Okay, it's something that it makes me feel good to even talk to you about it, because this is something I thought I should have done all my life, even though I should have joined the Marine Corps back in 1775. That's how it is, guys and ladies. If I can get your assistance with this, it would be greatly helpful. Any questions?